This particular figure is showing us a restatement of the previous figure using allelic symbols and presenting the genotypes. So in this case we're looking at the trait green and yellow, which are seed colors. So Mendel started with true breeding plants. He started with true breeding green and true breeding yellow. Remember, during meiosis these individuals produce gametes. Now, Mendel had no way of knowing which particular phenotype was going to be dominant until he actually crossed the two differing phenotypes and observed that in the F1 all the offspring were yellow. Therefore, Mendel concluded that the yellow allele is dominant to the green allele. So therefore the symbolism could now be applied. Mendel had no way of applying symbolism until he knew which was the dominant. So Mendel thought the trait then associated with yellow, or he called them factors, the factor or the gene associated with yellow was dominant to the factor associated with green. So that produced the F1. Now, the law of segregation says that during meiosis, this genotype will split to produce gametes. So the F1 produces two types of gametes. It produces half which would have the dominant allele and half which would have the recessive allele. So you remember in the previous figure we talked about setting up a Punnett square. And so we said what could possibly happen is we could get a fourth being homozygous dominant, a quarter being heterozygous, another quarter being heterozygous, and another quarter being homozygous recessive. As long as one dominant allele is present, these three will show the same phenotype, which is yellow. So I get a 3-to-1 ratio in my F2 for yellow to green. Now, in this particular figure, they continue on for another generation, and we look at the different frequencies of gamete types produced, and the same concept applies as to the production of different types of offspring. I'm not going to ask you to show or to calculate third generation progeny, but the idea or the methodology is exactly the same as what we did for the F2.